Greetings to part 24 of the RFEFP series. Still in lockdown, but staying very sane. YouTube, shall we begin? So what do we really know about volcanoes? Well, the word volcano originally comes from the name of the Roman god of fire, Vulcan. But what is their purpose here? So I must start by saying, just like every one of my uploads, they come with a warning. The information presented in the video might shock or cause you cognitive dissonance. Now I only want to talk the truth to you. Now a volcano is just a mountain, friends, one with fire, and mountain means high land or land on a mount. This mount opens downward to a pool of molten rock below the surface of the earth. So when pressure builds up, eruptions occur. Gases and rock shoot up through the opening and spill over, also filling the air with lava fragments. Lava is hot, liquefied rock that flows from a volcano or a land on a mount. When the liquid rock is underground, it is known as magma. Igneous rock is thus formed when the lava cools and hardens. Interconnected magma chambers and reservoirs are the key driver of the dynamics of volcanic systems around the plain world. So understanding their real nature and truth is an important step towards understanding how volcanoes are supplied with magma and ultimately how they erupt. Most people do not know the real truth about them and their purpose here. But you are about to. So I hope, my friends, that you are sitting very comfortably. Now, Midocean Ridges in particular make up the most significant volcanic system on the plain, forming a roughly 80,000 kilometre long network of undersea mountains, along which a staggering 75% of the Earth's volcanism occurs. However, because these volcanoes are actually located under thousands of meters of water and sometimes under permanent sea ice, scientists are only just starting to understand what the subsurface architecture of these volcanoes look like. Because now we have the digital technology to see it. And boy, have they got it wrong. Now, what excites me about the plain's water is how the oceans all seem to interact with the land which it rests upon. Yet we know next to nothing about the 72% water we rest upon. They say we know more about the so-called uni and multiverse than we do about our very real water, which is a ridiculous statement to make. This phenomenon is literally what made the Hawaiian Islands and many other human-inhabited places around the world. The land and sea are inextricably linked. As I've said, the earth rests upon the waters, and it's not the other way around. Volcanoes are an important distributor of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, for which our Earth's eco-cycles are able to function properly, for plants and other things to thrive and survive. We need them. Volcanoes are found all over the Earth, absolutely everywhere, friends, from the Arctic to the Antarctic. There are around 1,500 potentially active volcanoes worldwide, so they have played a role in our history, creating the land, contributing to fertilised soil for growing food, and more importantly, providing that carbon dioxide. They make amazing history programs to watch, but also cause sometimes devastating disasters, like the one in Indonesia back in the 60s. Lanzarote, which is part of the Spanish Canary Islands, is known around the world as the island of volcanoes, and I have seen it myself once upon a time. Now, my friends, the textbook explanation of magma being spewed out from narrow jets deep within the Earth's core has always been 100% wrong. We know it makes great videos, spectacular movies and special effects, but that's about as far as it goes. Volcanic researchers now believe that these narrow jets called Mantle Plumes do not even exist and never have done. And they say that basic physics can back up their findings. Surprise, surprise. Now, a professor at the California Institute of Technology states mantle plumes never had a sound physical or logical basis. According to the current mantle plum theory, heat from the so-called Earth's core somehow generates narrow jets of hot magma that gush through the mantle and to the surface, a somewhat almost 1,860 miles down underground. However, the new measurements suggest that what is really happening here is these narrow jets are known as broad upwellings, which are balanced by narrow channels of sinking material, which are called slabs. So what is driving this motion? Well, my friends, it is not the heat from the fictitious core. Oh no, it's simply cooling at the Earth's surface. Something that was actually said decades earlier. In fact, Professor Anderson states again, the behaviour is what's called the regular mantle convection. Now, this was first proposed more than a century ago by a chappie called Lord Kelvin. Now, he states magma, which is less dense than the surrounding mantle, rises until it reaches the bottom of the plates. Stresses in the plates, cracks and other tectonic forces can squeeze the magma out, in a similar way to how water is squeezed out of a sponge. That magma then erupts out of the surface of the mountain, what we know as volcanoes. The magma actually comes from within the upper miles of the volcano's mantle, less than 10, my friends, and certainly not almost nearly 2,000 miles deep below the mantle, direct to the Earth's core, as the mantle plum theory and contemporary science theory suggests. Another fact to always remember at this point is we as a people of the Earth land have only managed to dig down around 8.5 miles with the best diamond drilling companies of the world. Anything said further is just hypothetical and guesswork. With real science, they do find microscopic plankton fossils resting at around 4 miles down. There are about 20 known supervolcanoes on the plain Earth, and these are known as having the potential to produce an eruption with major effects on the climate and ecosystem of the plain. Yellowstone, which is located in Wyoming, USA, is the most famous supervolcano and also has the potential, they say, to be the most powerful. The so-called experts do say that it should blow every 1 million years or so, but we're not sure who's going to be around to see it. Fear is a very strong motivator, friends. We are surrounded by it at this very moment in time, and people will fear what they do not understand. Volcano scientists, geologists, biologists now realise, friends, the official explanation of volcanic eruption and the mantle plum theory is wrong. So very, very wrong. But you will not see any changes in any contemporary textbooks or science books or any videos explaining the real way that volcanoes work on our plain Earth. This similar pattern will occur so very regularly for the unsuspecting gullible masses. It's just much easier to carry on teaching the lies and the non-science based Earth crust theory and the mantle plum theory, which is such a shame. Seeing the ring of fire converted into the azimuthal equidistant projection forms more of a line instead of the horseshoe formation. Now, a volcano the size of New Mexico or the entire British Isles has now been identified under the Pacific Ocean, about 1,000 miles east of Japan, making this the biggest volcano on plain Earth to date, called Tamu Massif. The giant shield volcano had once been thought to be a composite of smaller structures, but now scientists say that they must rethink long-held beliefs about marine geology, as these so-called scientists are still trying to work out the details of how Tamu Massif formed, debating that very question to this very day. Not only does Tamu Massif give us a new wow factor in the form of a giant new volcano on this plain Earth that most do not know about, let alone how they work, but this gives us the new insight into the real truth of the building blocks of an oceanic plateau, and certainly not from a fictitious Earth's core theory. Knowledge from the past to save the future is so often the very case. So snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. If the weight of the object is less than this displaced quantity, the object floats. If it's more, it sinks. The amount of fluid displaced is directly related to its volume via Archimedes' principle without the gravity friends. Hydrogen, helium, neon, nitrogen, ammonia, methane and carbon monoxide. These are common gases that are all lighter than air. Oxygen, fluoride, chloride, hydrogen chloride, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide and hydrogen sulfide. All these gases are heavier than the air. Water is different because of hydrogen bonding friends. Ice floats because it is about 9% less dense than liquid water. So in other words, ice takes up around 9% more space than water. So a litre of ice will weigh less than a litre of liquid water. Now, isn't that funny, friends? They do not weigh the same. The heavier water displaces the lighter ice, so ice floats to the top. We are surrounded by an impassable border of ice, the barrier, if you will, to keep us contained as there is no escape. We are in no such danger of falling off anywhere. Our Earth's super and normal volcanoes are a very much needed huge part for the correct function of the ecosystem and will always be a real flat Earth fact on the plane. Thank you for your time and attention with me. I hope you enjoyed it if you stuck with me to the end. We all learn new things every single day. So don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel and hit the notification bell, and also get the app if you want to. It's amazing. I cannot wait for part 25. It's the giant one, friends. So I will see you all then. Much love. This was Nee B, and you stay safe on the plains.